For decades, Maury Povich stood at the center of family truth and DNA revelations. Calm voice, one envelope, and a sentence that could change lives forever. But some stories never made it to that famous stage. Some truths were too heavy even for the brightest studio lights. This is one of those stories. She looked me dead in the eyes and swore on her mother's grave, "I have never cheated on you. Not once. Not ever. That baby is yours, DeShawn. I don't know why you keep asking me, but the answer is always going to be the same." Crystal was convincing. She always was. That's what made this so hard, because I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her more than anything in the world, but the baby didn't look like me, and I couldn't pretend anymore. My name is DeShawn Williams. I'm 31 years old. I work at an auto body shop in Newark. I've been with Crystal since we were 19. 12 years of history, 8 years of marriage, and now one baby that was tearing us apart. His name is Jalen. He's 11 months old, and every time I look at him, I see a stranger. Let me tell you what I see. I'm dark-skinned. My whole family is dark-skinned. My father, my mother, my brothers, my cousins, we're all the same shade of deep brown that's been in our bloodline for generations. Crystal is dark-skinned too. Her family is the same. There's no light skin anywhere in our history. But Jalen is light. Not just a little light. Noticeably, undeniably, can't ignore it light. The kind of light that makes people do double takes. The kind of light that made my mother pull me aside at the baby shower and whisper, "Son, are you sure about this?" I told her yes, but I wasn't sure. I hadn't been sure since the day he was born. It's not just the skin color. Jalen has light brown eyes. Mine are dark brown. Crystal's are dark brown. Both our families have dark eyes going back as far as anyone can remember. Jalen has straight hair. Not wavy, not curly, straight, like someone from a completely different background. Jalen has a nose that doesn't look like mine. Lips that don't look like Crystal's. A face that seems like it belongs to someone else's family entirely. I'm not a scientist. I don't understand all the genetics, but I know what I see, and what I see doesn't make sense. I asked Crystal about it when Jalen was 3 months old. She was breastfeeding him in the nursery. I stood in the doorway trying to find the words. "Crystal, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me." She looked up with that innocent face, that beautiful, innocent face I had fallen in love with 12 years ago. "What is it, baby?" "Jalen, he doesn't look like me. He doesn't look like anyone in my family. And I need to know, is there any chance he's not mine?" Crystal's face went from confused to angry in about 2 seconds. "Are you serious right now? Are you actually asking me if I cheated on you?" "I'm asking because I need to know." "I have been with you for 12 years, DeShawn. 12 years. I have never so much as looked at another man. And now you're accusing me of what? Having an affair? Getting pregnant by someone else?" "I'm not accusing. I'm asking." "Well, the answer is no. Hell no. That baby is yours. He came out of my body, and I know exactly who put him there." She was crying now, angry tears streaming down her face. "How could you even ask me that after everything we've been through?" I didn't have an answer. I just walked away. But the doubt didn't walk away with me. It stayed. It grew. It poisoned every moment I spent with my son, because every time I looked at him, I wondered, whose child am I raising? I started watching Crystal, looking for signs, checking her phone when she left it on the counter, noticing who she texted, who she talked to, where she went. I found nothing. No suspicious messages, no secret calls, no unexplained absences. Crystal was exactly who she had always been. A loyal wife who worked hard, came home every night, and seemed genuinely confused by my suspicions. But the baby still didn't look like me, and I still couldn't let it go. My brother Terrell was the one who suggested the show. "Bro, you're driving yourself crazy," he said. "You need to know for sure. And if Crystal won't agree to a DNA test, then you need to take it public. Put some pressure on her. See what happens when she can't hide behind closed doors." "You think she's hiding something?" "I think that baby is light as hell, and you deserve answers. If she's innocent, the test will prove it. If she's not, well, then you'll know." I thought about it for a week, and then I made the call. The producers were interested immediately. They loved the story. Devoted husband, suspicious baby, wife who swears she's innocent. It was exactly the kind of drama their audience craved. They flew us out to Connecticut, put us up in a hotel, prepped us for what was coming. Crystal was furious when she found out what I had done. "You're taking me on national television to accuse me of cheating? Are you insane?" "I'm taking you on national television to prove you're telling the truth. If Jalen is mine, the test will show it. You have nothing to worry about. I have nothing to worry about regardless. I know who I slept with. Then prove it. Take the test. Shut me up once and for all. Crystal glared at me with more hatred than I had ever seen in her eyes. Fine, I'll take your stupid test. And when it comes back saying you're the father, I want an apology, a real one, in front of everyone. If it comes back saying I'm the father, I'll apologize on my knees. The day of the taping arrived. The studio was smaller than I expected, brighter. The audience was already seated when we arrived. Maybe 200 people, all waiting to watch our marriage either survive or collapse. I went on first. The host greeted me with a handshake and that knowing smile. He'd done this 1,000 times. He knew exactly how these things usually ended. DeShawn, you're here today because you have doubts about whether you're the father of your 11-month-old son. Jalen, tell us why. I took a deep breath. Jalen doesn't look like me. He doesn't look like anyone in my family. He's light-skinned when both of us are dark. He has light eyes when both of us have dark eyes. He has straight hair when neither of us have straight hair. I've asked Crystal about it, and she swears she never cheated. But I can't ignore what I see, the audience murmured. Some nodded. Some looked skeptical. Have you seen any evidence that Crystal was unfaithful? No. I've checked her phone. I've watched her behavior. I haven't found anything. But that doesn't explain why my son looks like he belongs to a different family. Let's bring out Crystal. Crystal walked onto that stage like a woman on a mission. She wasn't crying, she wasn't scared, she wasn't nervous, she was angry, defiant, ready to fight for her reputation, her marriage, her truth. Her heels clicked against the stage floor as she walked to the chair next to mine. She sat down, crossed her legs, and looked straight at the host. Not at me. She couldn't even look at me. I have never cheated on my husband, she said before the host could even ask a question. Not once in 12 years. Not once in 8 years of marriage. I have been faithful to this man since the day we started dating, and I am tired. I am exhausted of being treated like a liar in my own home. The audience reacted. Some clapped, some murmured. The host nodded sympathetically. Crystal, DeShawn says Jalen doesn't resemble him or anyone in his family. He says the baby has light skin, light eyes, and straight hair, none of which match either of your backgrounds. How do you explain that? I can't explain it. I'm not a geneticist. I'm not a scientist. All I know is that I have been with one man and only one man for the past 12 years. Maybe there's something in our ancestry we don't know about. Maybe there's a great-great-grandmother somewhere who looked different. I don't know. But I know what I've done, and I know what I haven't done. She finally turned to look at me. Her eyes were blazing. I have loved you for 12 years, DeShawn. I have supported you. I have been your partner through everything, through losing your job, through your mother's illness, through all of it. And this is how you repay me? By dragging me on national television and calling me a cheater? I'm not calling you anything. I'm asking for proof. My word should be proof enough. My 12 years of faithfulness should be proof enough. Your word doesn't explain why our son has light eyes and straight hair when neither of us do. The audience was getting loud now. People shouting from their seats, taking sides. Some yelling at me, some yelling at Crystal. The energy in that room was electric, chaotic, almost overwhelming. The host raised his hand for quiet. All right. We have the DNA results backstage. This will settle everything once and for all. Are you both ready to find out the truth? Crystal crossed her arms defiantly. I've been ready since the day he was born. Let's end this nightmare. I nodded. Bring out the results. The envelope appeared. White, small, ordinary looking. The kind of envelope you'd use to mail a birthday card or pay a bill. But this one held the answer to everything. My marriage, my family, my entire future. The host held it up, letting the camera get a good shot. The audience went silent. 200 people holding their breath. DeShawn, when it comes to 11-month-old Jalen, you claim he doesn't resemble you, and you've asked Crystal multiple times if she was unfaithful. You say you found no evidence of cheating, but the physical differences between you and your son are too significant to ignore. He turned to Crystal. Crystal, you swear you've been faithful for the entire 12 years of your relationship. You say you've never so much as kissed another man, and you're confident this test will vindicate you once and for all. Crystal nodded firmly. That's right. I know who I've been with, and it's only him. The host looked back at me. DeShawn, whatever these results say, are you prepared to accept them? I'm prepared for the truth. That's all I've ever wanted. And Crystal, if the test shows DeShawn is not the father, are you prepared to explain how that's possible? Crystal didn't flinch. It won't show that because there's no one else. There's never been anyone else. The host nodded slowly. All right then, let's see what the DNA says. He opened the envelope slowly, deliberately, letting the tension build. The paper crinkled in the silent studio. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. He unfolded the results. He read them once to himself. He looked at me with an expression I couldn't read, and then he said the words I never expected to hear. DeShawn, when it comes to 11-month-old Jalen, you are the father. The audience erupted. Crystal jumped out of her chair, pointing at me, tears streaming down her face. I told you he was yours. I told you I never cheated. Do you believe me now? I sat there in shock. The father. I was the father. But how? How was that possible? How could a baby who looked nothing like me, nothing like my family, be genetically mine? The host explained it during the commercial break. Genetics are complicated. Recessive genes can hide for generations and then suddenly express themselves. Somewhere in my family history, or Crystal's, there must have been lighter-skinned ancestors, maybe from so far back that no one remembers them. It doesn't happen often, but it happens. Jalen was mine. The DNA proved it. He just happened to inherit a combination of recessive genes that neither of us expected. Crystal didn't speak to me for 3 days after we got home. She was furious, humiliated. I had dragged her onto national television and accused her of infidelity in front of millions of people. And she had been innocent the entire time. I told you, she kept saying. I told you over and over, but you didn't trust me. You trusted your eyes more than you trusted your wife. She was right. I had let my suspicions destroy the trust we had built over 12 years. I had chosen doubt over faith. And even though the test proved she was telling the truth, the damage was done. It took 6 months to rebuild. 6 months of couples therapy, 6 months of individual therapy, 6 months of long conversations that stretched into the early morning hours, trying to understand how we had gotten here and how we could move forward. Crystal had every right to leave me. I had accused her of the worst possible betrayal. I had taken our private pain and broadcast it to millions of strangers. I had chosen my suspicious over her truth, but she didn't leave. She stayed, not because she was weak or because she had no other options. She stayed because she loved me, because she believed in us, because she understood that I had been scared and confused and desperate for answers. We're still together now. We're still working on it. The trust is rebuilding slowly, one day at a time. Jalen is 2 years old now. He still doesn't look like me, and he probably never will. His skin is still light. His eyes are still a different shade. His hair is still that unexpected texture. But he's my son. Every test confirms it. Every chromosome proves it. My blood runs through his veins, and I almost threw that away because I couldn't see past the surface. I learned something important on that stage. Sometimes the truth isn't what you expect. Sometimes genetics play tricks. Sometimes the person you're so certain is lying is actually telling the truth. I was so focused on what I could see that I ignored everything else. Crystal's loyalty, her consistency, her love. I accused an innocent woman of the worst possible betrayal, and I have to live with that for the rest of my life. For decades, Maury Povich stood at the center of family truth and DNA revelations. Calm voice, one envelope, and a sentence that could change lives forever. You are the father. 3 words that saved my marriage, but also 3 words that showed me how badly I had failed my wife. The test gave me back my son, but it also showed me who I really am.